Well, hey guys, thank you to all my subscribers for coming back and supporting the channel. And if you're new here, welcome. I am so pumped. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about second grade curriculum. I know it's early, but I've already got all the curriculum that I'm going to need for second grade. And so let's get started. The first thing that I want to talk about is Grammar and Punctuation by Usborne. This is the Usborne workbook. It's for age 7 to 8. Now, in first grade, we had Usborne Wipe and Clean, Grammar, Punctuation. They also had this in a Wipe and Clean book, but I had a hard time finding one, getting my hands on one, and so I just went ahead and I bought the paper workbook. I believe it's the exact same information. It's just not something that you can wipe and clean and do again. And so let's take a look at the inside. It's colorful and it goes over all the different things your child needs to learn as far as grammar for second grade. It is a very thin book, so you might think, well, how's that going to last a year? I do have some other books that include grammar, and we'll talk about those. What I liked about this book, though, first of all, I know my daughter likes the Usborne wipeable books, and we did good with it in first grade, so we are just continuing. But what I like about this is they have pages in the back where you can practice writing. They have a section for parents, tips on teaching, and then it also has a quiz, so your kids can do a quiz so you know if they've retained the information or not. And here's the notes for grown-ups, just extra notes to help you teach your kids about grammar. And then they have other books that you can purchase for other subjects. And they do have this workbook for older kids, and they also have wipeable books for older kids as well. The next book is Grade 2 Writing for Minecrafters. Guys, when I saw this, I purchased it on Amazon, and I was like, I have to get this. My daughter is a big Minecrafter fan, and if your kids are Minecrafter fans, I think they would like this. And so the reason that I got it, it says writing for Minecrafters. So I got it for writing, but it does include grammar. So I thought this would be great to go along with the Usborne Grammar and Punctuation book, which, by the way, I paid $5.99 for this. I'm going to try to tell you guys how much I paid for each book, and then at the end I'll give you a total of everything. So anyhow, so the Writing for Minecrafters, I paid $7.43. So very reasonable. Let's take a look inside. And so this is what it looks like, and you're starting off writing just words, and they're asking you questions, and it's a little bit of reading, and everything in here, if you are a Minecraft fan, you will recognize what it is. And here, as I mentioned, they have some grammar practice. So here they're learning about collective nouns and how to use those. And I just thought this was great. When I got it and I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is going to be really fun. And the nice thing about this series, it is by Amanda Brack. The good thing about the series is that she has a lot of other books. So not just for writing, she has ones for math, I believe also spelling, other language arts topics. I don't think she has one for science, so it's all like language arts related or math related. And they have different grade levels, so I got grade 2, and I just think it's great. So we'll see how it goes. Another writing book is called Evan Moore Real World Writing for Today's Kids. So this is for ages 6 to 7. So this could be used in first or second grade. And I really like the look of this book. I shared it in a short. And let's see, I paid $7.79 for this book. But I shared this in my short that it gives you multiple different projects that you can work on to teach your kid how to write. So this one is a journal. They have one where you're writing a letter. They have another one where you write about your favorite things. And then what I really like is that at the end of each sections, it says, congratulations, you've done important real world writing. And then it tells you like what type of job you could do with that type of writing. So here it says journal writing, authors can do this, illustrators do this, bloggers do this. And so I thought that was pretty interesting that kids get to see, yeah, what kind of profession that they can do if they're good writers. And here there's a project to make a sign. And so they just have a lot of different projects. I love that it's colorful. I think that my daughter's going to like it, but I'm not sure. We'll see. The one thing about this really is strictly writing. There's no grammar topics or anything in this one, so it is really just for writing. The next book is Handwriting, Learn Cursive. Just says easy to remove pages. So I'm not sure who the manufacturer, Peter Popper Press is the manufacturer. You can get this on Amazon. This was actually gifted to me, but I did check on Amazon and I believe it was $5.57. That's how much it cost. And it's just your basic handwriting, cursive handwriting, textbook curriculum. So it goes over lowercase handwriting, capital handwriting, letters that you can write, words to write, sentences, numbers, days of the week, just all of your basic things just in cursive. And so I'm going to use this in second grade. I was given this to me in first grade, but I just really wanted my daughter learning print in first grade, but she's taken some interest into calligraphy. And so I told her, if you want to start learning calligraphy, the first thing is to learn the cursive alphabet. She seemed interested. And so that's what we're going to do for second grade. She is still going to learn printing. This is just going to be like an extra thing on the side. And here's an example. They do lowercase and capital letter side by side, which I think is nice. And they show the kids how to make the shape. It shows you with arrows here. And I believe this is Danielian handwriting. I wanted to mention one thing about cursive is if you have children who are dyslexic, I had read that they can have trouble with cursive writing, especially with the Q and the Z. Now, this is a more modern style way of making a Q, but there's an older style way of making a Q, and it could be very confusing to kids that are dyslexic. This looks a lot more like a print Q. So I like that. And let me see if I can find the Z. There's the Z down here at the end, at the bottom. So that's what the capital Z looks like. And this is also what the lowercase z looks like. I know it's kind of hard to see there. But yeah, those are things to check on when you're looking for cursive writing. And I also look at the R's because not all the cursive handwriting styles have the same type of R's and S's. This is the type of R that I like, and also this capital R. Okay, the next two books are Explode the Code. No surprise here if you've been watching my channel or you've seen any of my shorts. We really like Explode the Code. So I went ahead and got books 4 and 5, and that cost me $20. So each book was $10. We are doing Explode the Code 2 and 3 in first grade, and I I find that my daughter can only go through two books a year. So in kindergarten, she did book 1 and book 1.5 because she needed more practice. And then this year in first grade, we did book 2 and 3. So for second grade, the Explode the Code manufacturer says 4, 5, and 6 are to be used in second grade. I don't know if we're going to get to number 6, so that's why I just bought 2. If we do get through these, then I'll go ahead and get number 6 as well. But for now, this is what we're doing. And let's see, in Explode the Code 4, they're going through compound words, common endings like ing, est, ed, syllables, more syllables, open syllables, closed syllables, and vowel digraph sounds. And then for book 5, they are going through ed ending words, all words, word families with 3 sounds, thr, shr, scr sounds, and 3-letter blends. So there you go. It works for us. So we're just going to keep going with it. Now, along with Explode the Code, this was an issue, a little bit of an issue, is spelling. I like to do reading and spelling on the same day. And I've gone ahead and I got Evan Moore's Spelling Games and Activities. And this book was a bit pricey. I paid $18 for this book. But it has, what I like is in the front of the book, it tells you all of the themes, because this book is done in themes, but it tells you all of the words in the book. Here we are. So this is the spelling word list, all the words the kids learn how to spell, and it's quite a few. Everything is in black and white, but what I like about it is that it is themed and it has lots of different spelling activities in it. And so I really think that my daughter will like doing this. We are also going to continue using our movable alphabet. So I plan on using these words with the movable alphabet as well, just to have like some, what's it called, cohesiveness, so that things are the same. She's familiar with the words and she repeats the words over and over. And I went ahead and I did get another Evan Moore book. So if you had watched my first grade curriculum review, I wasn't sure if Explode the Code was going to be enough. And I thought the same thing again this year. I just kind of want to have this on hand for extra spelling practice. Now, it may turn out that Explode the Code does have enough spelling in it because it does contain spelling and writing practice. But this just looked like a lot of fun, and I think my daughter will enjoy that. For science, we are actually having a science curriculum this year, and it's going to be Carson DeLosa's Interactive Notebook Science 3, and the price is $9.99. You're probably wondering why I'm showing you this on my tablet. It's because this is a PDF form. The book, they do not have like a physical book, so this is my first time using like a PDF curriculum. We'll see how it goes, but I went ahead and got grade 3 for her because when I looked through the samples, it really looked like grade 3 was more geared to what she needed to learn, because we already learned a lot of the stuff in the grade 2 notebook. And I decided to get this because we've been doing science notebooking this year in first grade, and she really seemed to like it, and it's going well. And so this science notebook from Carson DeLosa, they give you different activities to do, and you learn about different science topics, and you get, I don't know, at least 1 or 2 activities to do, and then you put it in your journal. So I think this will be good for us. Maybe it's not for everyone. I don't know how it's going to go with the PDF, but I think it'll be fine. And then to go with science and history, I got this big history timeline sticker book. Now, my daughter really likes stickers. She really wanted something that had stickers in it, and I wanted to get her a timeline. Now, I know you can make your own timeline. You make a huge timeline, put it out on the floor, or I've seen people with these timeline notebooks, but I didn't want to have to store like a gigantic, huge timeline that we made ourselves. And I also didn't really want a notebook because I felt like that was too abstract. I don't think she could really understand that if we were just writing dates into a notebook. So I got this, and this is from the American Museum of Natural History, and I bought this on Amazon, and I paid $9.25. Now, guys, that's kind of pricey for a history timeline, but it does go, I believe, to support the museum. So I was like, okay. And it is what my daughter wanted. She wanted stickers. So let's have a look inside, and you'll get to see like what the timeline looks like. I love that it's easily foldable. You can store it away. It's thin, but it starts here kind of like, looks like the Big Bang, and then it goes through some of the Jurassic period and whatnot, and then over here is with like Neanderthals, and then it goes into all the different countries, ancient history, and it goes all the way up to modern times as well. So let me fold this here. There we go. And it does go all the way to 2020. There it is. It does go all the way to 2020. So it's missing a few years, but it also has stickers, which is what my daughter wanted. So each thing we talk about, we're going to place stickers there. Some of it we've already talked about. We're really going to focus more on U.S. history, but I think it's nice to have this timeline to see what's going on at the same time in other parts of the world while we are studying about U.S. history. And speaking of U.S. history, this is U.S. Facts and Funds by Evan Moore, grades 1 through 3. And this one I paid, let's see, $14.29. So that's a pretty good price. I think it's normally like $30. I talked about this in one of my shorts, and yeah, what I love about it, it is all in black and white, but what I love about it is they teach history through stories. So there's all these different stories and famous people and famous landmarks, and you talk about states and birds and all, just state birds and all kinds of stuff. It does talk a little bit about Native Americans. We've already studied Native Americans, but this doesn't have like a lot of stories and history on Native Americans. At least I don't think it does. I didn't do a thorough look through it, just kind of a brief look through. But it also has, along with history, it does have some other like science and money. It talks a little bit about that. And I just think the way that they teach U.S. history in this book is nice, because, a lot of history deals with war and invasion of other countries. And it's not that I don't want to teach her about these things, but I just kind of want to focus more on people, inventors, and positive things that have happened through the years. And again, it's not that I don't want to teach her these things, but some things I feel like it's too much for a second grader to take in. And I think, these things can slowly be taught as they get older. Anyway, but with that said, I also got Draw Right Now. So this one is the United States, and this one is about Native Americans, North America, and the Pilgrims. So the one about the United States is obviously about, the Constitution, how the United States came to be. I bought both of these used, by the way, and so I paid $7.30 for this one and $5.47 for this one. You can buy these new. I think they're about $13 new. And I have mentioned, because we did Draw Right Now for first grade, we really liked this book. And so let's take a look here. This is what the United States one looks like. And so, you learn about the flag, you learn about the first presidents and the first colonies and all of that. And yeah, I thought it looked good. And then for the Native American, you learn about all the, not all of them, but you learn about quite a few different Native tribes, where they lived, and you learn how to draw some structures. So I think these two books will be a good supplement to go along with this. And while we're talking about history, I do also plan on using Core Knowledge. So Core Knowledge is a free curriculum online. I was looking for a spine to help guide me through history, because the U.S. has quite a long history, and I don't even know that we're going to be able to go through all of the U.S. history in 1 year, because it's really a lot to go through. But anyhow, so I'm using Core Knowledge. It's a free curriculum online to kind of guide me. That's kind of going to be my spine. I was also looking at History Quest. I really enjoyed the look of that curriculum. That one you do have to pay for. But what I liked about History Quest was, again, the idea that kids are learning history through stories. And everyone that I've seen on YouTube raves about History Quest. So I may end up getting that later. I'm not sure, but I'm just thinking about doing this using Core Knowledge, which is free, and then getting books from the library about the U.S. and different famous people from the U.S., to talk about history. I also got the 50 States Activity Book. Now this is an actual book. There's a book called the 50 States, I believe, but this is the activity book. So this comes with stickers. Again, my daughter kept telling me, please get me something with stickers, because she liked the National Geographic World sticker book that we did this year in first grade. And it was kind of hard for me to find a sticker activity book for the US, but I found this one. But when she saw it, she didn't really look super enthusiastic about it. So I don't know how this is going to go. This has a lot of different activities in it. I love that it's colorful. It does have a fold-out map in the back of the states and of the presidents, so you can review all of that. And it does come with stickers, but I'm actually kind of disappointed that it only comes with 50 stickers. Guys, that's not enough stickers. Even my daughter said that's not enough. And so, here is the flags, all the different flags of the states, which I thought was kind of nice. And then it opens up and you've got this huge, United States map here. I think that's nice too. And I paid $7.67. So that's not too bad for what it is. I don't know how it's going to go, because my daughter didn't seem too enthusiastic about it when she saw it. And I also wanted to share some books about history. So these are just 2 books that I got. This one I got at a garage sale actually for 50 cents, and this is called The Usborne Book of Living Long Ago. And this talks about all different cultures, civilizations, which is fabulous, and many different aspects, like from their housing to their food to what types of jobs they did. But the thing that I really, really liked about it is that it talks about fashion. Yeah, so chapter 1 is clothes and fashion, and my daughter loves fashion, so I think she's really going to be interested in this. And like I said, it goes from all the way from the first people that made clothing, and Native Americans and Egyptians and Romans and British medieval time clothing. So it's really a good book. If you can find this, I don't know if this is an older book or a newer book, but if you can find this book really looks good. I'll just show you a little bit more of the inside so that you can have a look for yourself. Okay, and then the other book that I got, this is a chapter book, a little chapter book. It's by Stepping Stones History. They have a few, maybe like 5 or 6 different of history chapter books like this, but obviously, guys, the reason I bought it was because of the cat. This is called Pioneer Cat, and it's about this little girl and her journey to the western side of the United States during like westward expansion and the gold rush and all that. And so I really thought my daughter would be interested in this story. I have not read it. This is new to me, but I think it is a popular book from what I had seen, and it's been around a while. So just something to think about. I was also gifted by a family member Little House on the Prairie series of books. So we're going to be reading through those chapter books. I don't know if we're going to watch the show. I don't even know if you can find the show on YouTube, but I think she would be interested in Little House on the Prairie. So we're going to be reading some of those books also for history. Oh, and I wanted to add that this book was $5.49. And then lastly is math. No surprise here because I've talked about it in one of my shorts. We're doing Math with Confidence again, this time for 2nd grade. We just really enjoyed it. This time I got the instructor guide. I didn't have the instructor guide for 1st grade. And I paid $41.50 for both of them. I thought that was a pretty good deal, so I just said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get the instructor guide, see what Kate Snow has to say. Also, as I had mentioned, I really needed curriculum for the 2nd grade year that's going to be a little bit more open and go, where if somebody needs to help me because I've been having health issues, but if somebody needs to help me and step in, then they have instructions and they know, what the next thing is they're going to have to work on. So let's do a flip through of the inside here so you can see kind of what it looks like. Here they're talking about money and they have like this number line. They're doing place values, base 10 place values. And if you didn't know about Math with Confidence, in the instructor guide, they have lots of games that you play. This workbook is really more to solidify the things that your kids have learned. So you may need the instructor guide. Some people use it. Like I said, in 1st grade, I didn't use it, but I've decided to use it in 2nd grade. They're going to go over, I believe, multiplication and division in 2nd grade. Let me take a look here. Addition, numbers to 100, subtraction, more addition, geometry, fractions. Okay, I don't see any, actually I don't see any multiplication here, but I may start working on multiplication with my daughter in 2nd grade. And then the very last thing I wanted to talk about was typing. So my daughter showed some interest in typing. I asked her if she would like to do typing. She said, yeah, maybe. So I spent quite a lot of time looking for typing curriculum specifically for elementary kids, and I really didn't find a whole lot. But what I did find was typing.com, and it is a free website from what I understand, and it is made for kids of all ages, and they do have it leveled by grade. What I saw of it, I thought it did look good, and I also appreciate that they didn't just teach the kids about typing, but they also teach the kids, at least in second grade, about internet safety. And so I think that was really important. So I think we'll be doing typing.com also. And yeah, and so that was free. And so the total for all of our books, that doesn't include like the gifts that we got, like the Little House on the Prairie series, doesn't include that. But everything that I purchased came out to $160.74. And that includes shipping, because I did get free shipping on a lot of things. So I hope that this book review helps you guys pick something for your second grade year, and I will see you in the next video.